Hello and welcome to episode 33 of the Board Crew. I'm your host Ben and I'm joined by Deek.
Hello.
And special guest David.
Hi, I'm David.
And today we are going to be chatting about how we went to Playcon.
That's right. So if you listen to the last episode, we dropped a big teaser when we said, hey, our next episode is going to be about Playcon. So if you picked up on that, congratulations, you did it.
It was like cryptic. I'm not sure if everyone got it.
Bit subtle.
Yeah. But they're board gamers. They know how to work out these puzzles, right?
Yeah, true. That is true. Well, we played, I think, collectively 27 games. I think we could have squeezed in a few more if one of or two of the games I played went 5 hours long, but still, that's 27 games over 3 days. Playcon run by Board Game BBQ, and I had a blast, had a lot of fun. Met some designers, actually played a game with a couple of designers, I believe. Brought David along for the ride as well, and now he's been dragged in here to join the podcast. Well, actually, we said casually, did you want to be on the podcast? And he's like, yeah, sounds great. We didn't have to drag him or anything. Nothing. No hostage situation. Everything's fine. You're here by free will, aren't you, David?
Absolutely. Yeah, had a blast at Playcon.
Yeah, that for legal
Good
reasons.
answer. That check will be in the mail.
Yeah, for legal reasons you have to say that. Okay. Well, this is going to be another rapid fire kind of episode like we did with CanCon, and I reckon we just dive right into it. First game we played was Scribbly Gum. It's an Australian game, and it's all about following is it a silkworm? No, baby moth.
It's like a native grub.
A native grub around a tree, and you etch out the pattern that a grub would make on a real-life tree. So educational in a way, but it's a flip and write kind of game made by Phil Walker Harding. And he taught us the games, and I just realised that he made another game I love, which is Sushi Go. So big fan of his, and very, very kind of him to design an amazing game, but also to play and teach us the game. And had a lot of fun with this one. You basically flip over tiles, and you make your little worm follow a certain line around, and when you get to a certain food, you use that food to combo up points. And you want to try and get as much food as possible. You want to try and combo as much points as possible at the end of the game. You look at your sheet that you've drawn on, and you've made a bit of a track of what a real baby moth little worm thing would do on a tree, and it's really quite lovely. It's a really authentic, like Australian themed game, and I feel like it might be really affordable. It's just a lovely game. Scribbly Gum, would highly recommend it, maybe for kids. In fact, we had a couple of kids playing it with us, and they won themselves a copy. So, well, actually, Ben won the game, and then he gave the copy to the kids. So, kudos, brownie points to Ben, but lovely game, Scribbly Gum. I'd love to play that one again.
Yeah, I love it. I already had a copy, so I'm not taking a copy when two girls that were loving playing the game.
Yeah,
so
I love how much they loved it. It was really cute.
I love how the game reminds me of my youth. When I was a kid, I traced those little lines, the scribbly lines on the gum trees near my home, and so pretty nostalgic. I like that about the game. Great theme.
Did you rack up points when you were on the tree? And there's a leaf. That's 2 points, and I'll add that to that, and now down later that's 3 points, and.
Well, I was absolutely obsessed with insects, so I always wondered what the little creature looked like underneath.
Love it. That's Scribbly Gum.
I also played Sheriff of Nottingham. This is another kind of bluffing, a slight memory game. We've already reviewed this on the pod. Fun. There was lots of that snap. We really got into it of bribing each other to get them instead of just protecting ourselves. There was lots of deals of, I'll pay you $2 to open their two. I don't care what you do with mine. Or, I'll pay you $10 not to open Monica's.
Oh, it's just a bluffing game.
Yeah, it's a little bit bluffing, a little bit memory. You can win Sheriff of Nottingham by telling the truth all the way through. You can also win by just lying through your teeth and bribing your way out of it.
That's the way.
I could know that you're lying, but if you pay me enough, I'll be like, it's not even worth me getting it anymore. So I'm going to let it go through. But it was great, chaotic fun. Sheriff of Nottingham.
The next game we played was Farmhand, great trick-taking game. In the game, you have a series of tricks that you do over a course of rounds. You have to bid on exactly how many tricks you want to win. I really like that. So rather than just going all out, you're trying to estimate exactly how many you think you can win. You're estimating the quality of your hand. And there's quite a bit of subtlety to the gameplay as well. Not only are you trying to win your own tricks, you've also got the other players who've bid on a certain amount. So you're trying to work out how you can win the exact right amount of tricks that you bid on, while also undercutting them and screwing them over at the wrong moment. I like that. A bit different from the norm.
Yeah, I think the spice of Farmhand is you can see what suit people are holding because the colour of the card is on the back of the card. So I can look over and go, Deek's got 2 greens and David's got 1 orange. And then you can look at the number ranges of those cards to try and work out when you're bidding. I really like that as that extra spice.
I love the bidding component of it, like just getting it right. I mean, it's quite euphoric when you actually, I bet 2 and I got 2 correct. I'm getting 6 points, and those points scale way more as you get towards the end of the game. So you can have a terrible couple of first rounds and really just rake it in the last few rounds. We also played this with the designer, Craig Summerton, who listens to the podcast. Craig, love your work. You're a super friendly, cool guy, and thank you for showing us Farmhand. I might need to order a copy. Is it out now, do you know?
Yeah, I've got a copy arriving hopefully this week.
Awesome. Farmhand.
Well, while we were playing with Craig, we decided to play one of his prototypes that isn't out yet. He calls this the Bluey prototype. And this is basically like my first trick taker. So if you've got really young kids, he said he designed it for his 6-year-old niece, but I reckon it'd work for 5 and up. Probably, depending on the kid.
Yeah, I think so. I've got a 4-year-old and he knows how to play Uno, so I don't think he's far off knowing how to play this one. I can just see him cackling with this game too, with how how he works it. Like there are minus points and things like that, and I can see kids having a whole lot of fun with this. I mean, it has a Bluey theme, but you don't need a Bluey theme. I don't think it really has anything to do with actual Bluey characters outside.
No,
of
it's
the
just the
aesthetic.
cards
Yeah.
had Bluey stuff on them. And he's trying to pursue the Bluey, corporate mob to see if he can get the IP for it.
Joe Brum, if you're listening, give him the license. It's a
Yeah.
fun game. Really good game. Just give it to him for free. I'm sure that'll work out for you.
Yeah, it'd be great. But it is a really nice way of introducing trick-taking to either kids or people that haven't done much trick-taking before. He's got this wonderful, almost legacy campaign component in it that you add rules as you play each round. You slowly get up until you get to a full trick-taking game. The thing that I like about it is even at the most basic, the rules and the game are fun. Highest card wins the trick. Doesn't matter about suit. But they win the lowest card. So if you play a 6, you're like, woo, I'm winning. And then someone plays a -1, you're like, I don't want to win anymore. This is terrible. So,
Yeah. And then we had fun, obviously, if that age demographic is around 6 because he's designed it for his niece. I think a lot of kids that age would get a kick out of it. But we got a blast out of it too. We're all laughing along and sort of cheering. It was a great game for all. Really cool family game. David, I reckon you were thinking about buying it for if it comes out.
Oh, yeah. I wish it was out. I would have bought it on the spot for my nephews. Perfect game to teach them trick-taking. I loved the game. It was so fun. I love the way, as Ben said, you add new rules. Really clever. Just 3 cards in your hand, and yet it feels surprisingly tactical.
another slam dunk from Craig.
The next game is the game that I think we played the most, and by most I mean we played it twice. But
I played it 5 times.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You guys kept going back to bed. So
Oh, right,
I
yes.
kept playing this.
The game is called Hot Streak, and boy was it fun. It was so popular, we had to eye off the stage to see if people had borrowed it. It was constantly being shifted from the library onto people's tables. A lot of people were loving this one. I think it is only just now on sale, or maybe has recently come out.
Yeah, it's not available in Australia.
In
yet.
Australia. Oh, okay, right.
It will be in about a month or...
Keep an eye out for it. Hot Streak. It is a how would you explain this game? It's a racing game, but it's also a betting game. But you are...
It's a wacky racing game. It's not like people run in a straight line as fast as
No.
they can.
And-
I mean, theoretically, they're trying to do that, but they don't do that.
Yeah, and that's the fun part of the game, is that they don't run in a straight line. You're betting on mascots who are racing. They're dressed up as bears and hot dogs and things like that. And you all have these cards, and you can kind of bet, I think this guy's going to win, the hot dog's going to win. I'll take a really risky bet, and if he gets first, you get $10, or if he loses, you lose $2 and things like that. And you can choose other things like, do you think the hot dog will actually fall down and get squashed and knocked out? You can say, yeah, I think that might happen, and that might happen, and you might win money. So you play out a bunch of cards from the deck, and that will dictate how far the cards go. So it could say hot dog goes 2 spaces forward, but the fish goes backwards and this guy turns around and the hot dog actually turns to the left, and that might actually get them running off the track, and it's just chaos and it's so silly. And you have to do like a horse commentary voice as you're playing them, like, and the hot dog's coming around the bend, he's spun around and he's fallen over. And like the funniest thing that happens is when the race starts and the first thing that one of them does is falls over, and you've got $10 riding on that fish. You're like, what are you doing? Get up! And then the hot dog comes in and stamps on him and squashes him, and he's out. He's eliminated from the game. Like, what is happening? I wouldn't recommend like children play it because it does obviously feature a very heavy gambling element. But it's so fun, it's so wacky, it's so goofy. The quality of it as well, the figurines are like a heavy kind of plasticine or, I don't know, something.
Beautiful figurines.
Yeah, really, really nice figurines. And the map, like the box actually has the map in it. You pull it out like a banner, you place your tokens, you place your characters on there, and then you can fold it back in. It's super easy to set up, super easy to pack away. One of my favourite games at Playcon, and I don't think I was alone in saying that. Oh, no,
absolute blast playing it. You make exactly 9 decisions, I think, over the course of the game, and yet I was on the edge of my seat. I mean, there's nothing funnier than rooting for Mum, say, and she's right on the verge of winning. She's right at the finish line, then she turns around and trips over and goes off the track, and the person in last suddenly ends up winning.
Yeah. Every time we played this, people were shouting, like, go Gobbler, or come on.
Hot dog, or whatever his name is.
Hot dog. What was the hot dog's name? Yeah.
Gibbler or something? Or Gobbler. But the great
Gobbler was the bear.
Yeah, the bear lost a lot.
I love the bear. The hot dog was...
There was a fish, there was a hot dog, there was a bear,
and a mum.
Yeah,
it was like
just
a
like the
queen.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Another great thing is you can sabotage each other.
That's it. You do have a tiny bit of control of you're putting in cards into that communal deck, which will change how the race goes. And so if you're betting going Gobbler's going to win, you might put in a great card for Gobbler or a bad card for the hot dogs. Wacky, fun. If you've played things like Winner's Circle or Magical Athlete, it's that kind of style, but I think in a shorter amount of time, a better presentation. It really gets the chaotic sort of nature that you really want from those kind of races without feeling like it's unfair to the people who miss a bet.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so thematic. It really feels like you're watching mascots racing and bumbling, knocking into each other, falling over.
They're hopeless.
Like when David said, when they're at the finish line and they just turn around and start running the other way, like, what are you doing? You're about to win.
Yeah.
Super fun game. Hot Streak, would highly recommend it, and check it out when it comes out.
Next up, we've got Fate of the Fellowship. This was one of the big new ones at Playcon. This is a cooperative game by Matt Leacock, famed Pandemic and all the Forbidden series. And it's Pandemic-esque. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of, if you played Pandemic, you might get like 25% of the rules.
Yeah.
But I reckon it's Pandemic second, Lord of the Rings theme first. It far more like leans into what would Lord of the Rings look like as a board game than it does what would Pandemic look like as Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. In Pandemic, there's no real story, whereas Fellowship, it actually feels like there's a story happening. I mean, we've all read the books or we've all seen the movies. It's sort of following along a similar path to that, and you feel a bit more victorious when you get to the end. If you get to the end.
Yeah, I've yet to win this.
And how many games have you played?
A lot now.
I think Sauron may have had a hand in the design.
Yeah. I have got to like casting the ring into Mount Doom, but yeah, and we lost when we've done that. Like Frodo dies casting the ring in. You're like, oh well.
That feels like, shame. I don't know, victorious in a way. Like he fell in, but the ring fell in too. It was a noble sacrifice.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Tolkien would be Frodo has to survive.
But we've been playing on the introductory level as well. So there's a scale of how difficult this game is. And we are all people who have been gaming for many years and we just cannot get our head around how to finish this game.
Yeah. It is brutally hard, but it has some really interesting things. Everyone plays 2 characters, which for like a solo gamer like Deek is probably like, yeah, this is fine.
Normal.
But for lots of other people, they're like, why do I have 2? So, yeah, and I think it just has a really interesting way of kind of making you want to do the quests and sort of do these moments in Lord of the Rings, even if that seems like a dumb idea. Like, let's get all the free troops right in front of Mordor and like call Sauron's armies out. Other ones could be like you've got to get Boromir to die, or
Yeah.
Gandalf has to sacrifice himself to a Balrog, rouse the elves in Rivendell.
Yeah.
Lots of options. It is on BGA at the moment, but unless you're playing it real time, I don't think it comes across well at BGA.
Like Pandemic, you need a lot of communication. You can't just make your own decision and then hope it for the best. Like every time we were playing it, I was sort of saying, I'm thinking of doing this. What do we think? And then we'll having a discussion. So everyone's turn was everyone's turn, basically.
Yeah, coordination is essential. Otherwise, you won't win.
Yeah, I mean, even when you do coordinate, you lose. But great game, even when you lose it. Pandemic, Fate of the No, sorry.
It's pretty much Pandemic, Lord of the Rings, but better.
Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship.
We played Cascadia. Dan and I played it and one other guy. Really fun. Loved the game. First time playing it. You have a little wilderness, Pacific Northwest wilderness that you're building out and putting animals out. Really relaxing. You've got this beautiful little land. You've got mountains. You've got lakes. You've got grasslands. Really relaxing vibe. You're putting out animals, populating a little wilderness, but quite ruthless as well. On your turn, you take a tile and you take an animal. Ideally, you want to match up your environments. You're trying to get environments of the same type together. The twist is you're also putting out animals. So each land type, you've got some restrictions about what you can put there. The animals, you've got to put them out in certain patterns. So there's different types of animals. You've got bears, you want to pair them up. You've got fish, you want them in a nice long line. Foxes as well, yeah. So each one, elks, you want a linear line, just a straight line. And trying to get them into a pattern that has a high score while matching the land types, while keeping the same land type together, very tricky. And often you will need a very specific kind of animal or a very specific kind of terrain, and it'll come up and you'll be excited. You'll be like, yes, I've got it. It's going to be mine. And of course, someone else is like, that bear, I want it. No. And you lose your animal. Very ruthless, but very fun. I really liked that. It really did capture the balance between tight strategy and relaxing vibe. Love the theme. I quite enjoy the spatial aspect of the different animal patterns. Yeah, love the game. Really fun.
Shout out to Joel from the Board Game Gateway from Gateway for teaching us this, and we learnt it in like 2 minutes. It's such a simple game to learn, but it is a little bit more puzzly and thinky than you might think, I guess. Like you said, it's very relaxing. I was calm the whole time, but when he would take a token that had a fish on it, I was like, Joel, you know I was getting fish. I was trying to get it on a fish. And you can get like a little bit competitive there, but it's just really sweet and nice, and I love it. But the thing that you mentioned is we were just playing with side A. I played another version where the elks, we played it, we had to get them in a line. You can get elks that you have to have them in a circle. You have to have bears that are in groups of 3 or 4. You have to have birds that are in line of sight with each other. So some easy ones, some hard ones. So a lot of replayability with this one. I believe it was a Game of the Year nominee or winner for the German.
Ilgesaurus.
Yeah, did it win anything, or was it a nominee? Just a finalist. Good. I went and bought it a few days later.
Future Deek will add in what it was.
Yeah.
Hello, yes, it's Future Deek here. I did look it up, and yes, Cascadia did win the 2022 Spiel des Jahres against Top 10 and Scout. You know it's a good game.
There we go. So now you know. Cascadia, a game that I'm willing to play over and over again. Love it.
I also played That's Not a Hat. This is a strange little memory party game. So essentially, you will get an item. Maybe I'll get a trumpet, something, and I will show everyone that I got a trumpet. And then I'll pass it face down to Deek and go, I am gifting you a trumpet. And Deek will go, thank you for the gift. Then Deek takes the top. He'll put that at the top of his cards. Then he'll take his bottom card, which we all saw at the start of the game, but now we have to remember. And he'll be like, David, I'm gifting you a kitten. And then David has to either go, that's not a kitten, or thank you for the gift. And then he will take his bottom card and along it passes. So You've just got to remember where those cards were, which direction they're going, because each card has a little arrow saying which way around the circle it's going to go. There were two of us that were a little bit older than most of the rest of the players at the table, and we were suffering badly. The rest of the table was just laughing at us two oldies, just going like, I think this might be an umbrella, and everyone's like, that was a toaster.
Yeah. Memory's not what it used to be.
It was just like, oh.
It does sound like a children's book, actually, when I heard you say that's not a hat. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've read that to my child.
Yeah. So, lots of fun game. That's not a hat.
I played a game that was recommended to me not because of how great it is, but because of the story that happens and the chaos that ensues. The game is called Bonanza. Perhaps you've played it. The whole story of the game is you are trading beans. You start with beans, and on your turn, you draw a couple of cards. You can either plant your beans and try and accumulate points. So, of course, something is like, if you have 4 of this type of bean, you get 1 coin. If you have 6, 2 coins. If you have 8, 3, and it scales like that. So obviously you want to try and get as many of the matching pairs as possible before you dig them up and collect them, and then you can start growing them again. And then on your turn, everyone's shouting at you, being like, "Oh, I see you've got a green bean. I need a green bean for my garden. Well, I would like a red bean. Do you have a red bean? No. Okay, well, I'll move on to the next person." It's just chaotic auction house kind of trading. Everyone's just shouting at you like it's like you're on Wall Street, just being like, "I've got 15 beans. You give me 15 beans, I'll give you 3 of these beans, and I'll be your mate." And you're like, "Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Just stop yelling at me." So it is chaos. When you want it to be chaos, it can just be a very simple game of, "Well, I've got 2 beans. Would you like to trade?" "Yes, sure." Like Catan level kind of trading. But I didn't super duper love this game. And I know that is blasphemous because I've heard there is a lot of love for this game.
Off the pod.
See you later at the door.
Yeah.
Bye. Anyway, so Bonanza, not my favourite, but David, I know you like it a lot.
I love the game. It's awesome. So for me, the game captures the only thing I personally liked about Monopoly growing up. I liked the auction aspect, the trading aspect. I like ruthless trading, trying to get the upper edge on a deal. And for me, Bonanza captures that because it's really the whole game. Everything else supports the trading aspect. It's lots of fun. Yeah, good for kids as well as families.
I play Broth. This is by Chip Fury Games. This is, those guys that want to make a game you can immerse in a bathtub and not get damaged. So everything's made of plastic or European or everything. There is no paper or cardboard in these. So like all your cards are for your plastic. Your player mat is like a European board, even though it has no reason to be that.
Environmentalists would hate this game.
Yeah. Every Chip Fury game is like this. Like all of your pieces are big plastic chunky bits. This is an area control game where kind of all the areas are very interconnected and touch, so there's no turtling away in a corner. I didn't mind it.
Oh, there you go.
So it was fine. Area control's not really my thing. This is one of those asymmetric area control where everyone has like an ability where it breaks the game. That you can generally just
I'd
use
probably
once.
enjoy it then.
I got completely creamed by Sonia, who used her ability that she could only use once to wipe out about 80% of my entire army for the entire game. So that hurt.
It's all about timing.
Yeah, she got me.
Nice.
So she did also own the game. So,
Cheating.
Yeah, clearly.
You can illegally claim cheating when they own the game.
Yeah.
But she can take the ball and go home.
That's it.
Daniel and I played Bombusters, co-op game. So in this game, you are playing a coordinated team of bomb defusal squad. The idea is to defuse the bomb before it goes off. The way it works is each person has a rack of tiles. You've got numbered wires. So you have wires in a few different colors, blue, yellow, red, and you have to number them from the lowest number to the highest number. You know that on the other person's rack that those are organized from lowest to highest, but you don't know which numbers they have. On your turn, you have to point to a specific wire on their rack, and you have to say what number you think it is. If you're right, you get to remove that wire, and you get to remove one of your own.
As long as it's a matching number.
It has to be a matching number. It has to be a number you've already got. If you're right, you get to remove a couple of wires. Idea is you want to get rid of all the wires, and you win. You defuse the bomb. If you pick the wrong wire, the bomb gets one step closer to blowing up and you lose.
Yeah.
There's lots of little twists to it. There's a range of different scenarios, quite heavy on deduction. There's a little thing at the beginning where you can point to one of your wires and say, this is what number it is. Gives people a bit of an idea what you may have and where it is. So yeah, very strong on the deduction. The box, I thought, gave a bit of a friendly to kids vibe. It made it look like a kids game.
Yeah.
I found that to not be the case.
Not at all.
In fact, the game is really borderline abstract.
It's hard.
It's very tactical and deductive, though.
I really liked it. I think I liked it just a little bit less than you. I really enjoyed the sort of tactical deduction. I liked the communication with that communicating aspect, because you are given a bit of a lifeline that you can communicate at least one, and you have to really think about which one do I want to tell him about. So I want to tell him that I have the red wire, but I don't want him to try and cut this red wire. So how am I going to communicate to that? And there's that tactical thinking and analytical thinking there. I mean, people love it because this won, game of the year at the moment for the good gamers pick anyway.
Kennerspiel.
Kennerspiel, there we go. So the game of the year, if you love it, Bombbusters.
We also all got to play Critter Kitchens. This is basically the follow-up to Flamecraft. So if you love the art of Flamecraft, maybe you're hoping for a little bit more game. I know that might be controversial. I reckon Critter Kitchens is it. It's basically simultaneous selection. You're running out collecting ingredients, trying to impress a chef, but works really well. Best at higher play counts, solid art and solid game.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't play it with any less than 3. 3 is the minimum.
We tried at 2. Do not play it at 2.
All right, 4. But yeah, I agree. I think it's way better than leagues better than Flamecraft. And I think Flamecraft is okay. I don't mind it, but this is so much better. I was very tempted to buy it.
Game works amazing at 5. Perfect at 5.
Next up is worst game of the con for me. Oh, what? So yeah, Sausage Sizzle. It's just a roll dice push your luck game. It's not that I dislike push your luck games, but I felt Sausage Sizzle didn't really have much choices. It didn't feel like I could actually push my luck until it just died. Maybe because I came so far dead last, that could be it. But I didn't actually feel like I ever risked anything before I failed. So
yeah,
I might as well risk these 2 points that I've got while Deek's got that 28 or whatever. Oh no, I lost all 2 of those points. No.
Yeah. So. I know it was meant to look like a sausage sizzle, but I did not like the color scheme at all. I thought because some dice are just a slightly different shade of brown, and that's just not appealing to me. So when I was rolling them, I was like, yeah, well, even I'm winning, and I'm loving the fact that I'm winning, and I did win. I was like, I don't think this was that great, to be honest, but I mean, it's a goofy little push your luck dice rolling game. So if you're into that, I mean, I'm sure it'll be affordable. It's an Australian game, so support Aussie designers and publishers, but not really one for my collection.
There's so many better push your luck short games that take the same time as Sausage Sizzle, look nicer than Sausage Sizzle, and are more fun than Sausage Sizzle. So yeah, thumbs down for me. 0 sausages, just dry bread. So
it's an angled thumbs down for me. It's a little bit higher than yours.
One of the games we played was Ahoy. This is a game from the creators of Root and Vast.
Yep,
so you
Leader Games. So.
That's right. So asymmetrical, as you would expect. Compared to Root, considerably less asymmetrical. You've got 2 pairs of factions, some differences between them. One faction is combat focused and has cards, the mollusk. Then you've got the Bluefins that I played, very slow faction, very combat focused, very strong in combat, all about building up strong positions. And you had what was the faction you played?
The Smugglers.
Yeah, which are all about trading and
smuggling. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Being a freelance kind of nation, really, just doing my own thing while you two were at war.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, if you played with 4 players, 2 players would be playing an area control and 2 players would be playing pick up and deliver. Look, I think there's a lot better leader games. I think I probably liked this one more than you guys, but it's still not one that I'd ever asked.
I didn't mind it.
I did like the exploration aspect. As you go, you explore. As you explore, you put out tiles, which is really cool. Really, really ruthless between the players. I guess you kind of expect that after playing Root. I personally, not a huge fan of the Bluefins. I found them to be really slow. You got to plan ahead very carefully. If you make a slight mistake, you get screwed. So I found myself a little bit screwed by not planning ahead as much as I should have.
I really enjoyed playing the smugglers. They're fun. They just want to go about and do their own thing. They're literally just smuggling crew, stealing crew members from you two, and then going to deliver cargo to islands and increasing their land value to make it more appealing for you two. So I'm kind of, if you just leave me alone, I'll keep doing that and making things better for you two. But also, if you leave me alone, I'm going to get the most points and I'm going to win the game. So smuggling was fun. I really enjoyed just sort of going in and out, but I played a smuggler like a pirate, and I was like, every time I see someone, I'm going to attack them. Then obviously I shouldn't attack them. I had the weakest army. So I would get demolished and then be like whimpering back to my island saying, never mind, sorry about that, but carry on.
Yeah, I took my big cannons, blew everyone out of the water and scored no points.
Smugglers are all right, but yeah, not a really big exciting game for me.
I played the Anarchy. This is Hadrian's Wall 2.0. I played with the designer, Bobby Fisher. He was saying it's not really Hadrian's Wall 2.0. This is like its own separate game. I'm like, it's Hadrian's Wall 2.0. He even started
saying that to the designer. No, you're wrong about the game you made.
Sorry, Bobby. Yeah, it was an awesome game. But let's face it, he started the rules after the history explanation. This is set in the Anarchy in England, where, sorry, I forget the history. Anyway, there's 12 years
Sorry,
of where
We're
there's
so
basically
encapsulated by the
civil war.
game.
Yeah, the game was great. He started off the rules explanation by going, does everyone at the table know how to play Hadrian's Wall? And we're all like, yep. He's great. He's like, great, that saves 70% of the teach. That gives you maybe an indication of how close it is to Hadrian's Wall. Mm-hmm. I was looking at the sheets going, I think I already know how to play this. It is more complex than Hadrian's Wall. There's more involved. The fact that you know what attacks are coming and you build a physical castle, like made out of blocks, and building a moat and putting soldiers on it and all these kind of defenses and to stop the attacks that are coming at you. But also you have to go out and attack the NPC castles that are in the middle. That was interesting. It's got a tech tree. It's got a whole heap more mechanics and more resources. It's very same scoring system. Like you're just trying to go up 4 tracks and then score your end of game goals. I only got to play 2 rounds because that's all he was doing at Playcon. He's like, you're going to get a demo of 2 rounds, play that.
How many rounds are there?
5 in this one. So
right.
each round is a bit longer than Hadrian's Wall round. I think if you like Hadrian's Wall, this is well worth checking out. It's really solid. Only disadvantage, which he seemed surprised that I was like, oh, this would suck for me, is this only plays 4. So
Right.
Can't do 5 or 6.
Do you play solo though?
Yeah. In fact, this one is designed solo from the ground up.
Oh,
So
I'm
he
more
said
a big fan.
he was showing me all the solo campaigns and different ways. So in the solo, you do a whole heap of different stuff for the offensive. You might go burn down villages. Your solo goal might be build a new castle. Whole heap of like different, completely changes the game. Big campaign. He said he thought most people played Hadrian's Wall solo. Turns out most people play it with just their partner. So he's been pushing the publisher to make the solo into like a 2-person co-op.
Yeah, like a dual version, like every other game has these days.
Well, not dual because you're not against each other. It's like both go to do the campaign together.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's great. If you like Hadrian's Wall, I think you'll like this. It is heavier, but if you like Hadrian's Wall's great, give it a shot.
It is great.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Go
forward
for
to
the
it.
Anarchy.
Hopefully it comes out soon.
I would love to play that
It's
as
out
well.
now. So,
All right, see you later. I'm off to buy it.
That is on my wish list.
And now we come to my favourite board game of Playcon, and that comes from a bias of me loving the video game that this is based on. This is Slay the Spire, the board game. Geez, what a fun time this was. It was 5 hours long, though. We didn't even win. But the fact that I lost and still had such a blast is a testament to the game. If you have played the video game, you know like 95% of the rules, and that was a strong advantage from me and someone else who had played the video game. Most of us had not met before, so we're all kind of learning it at the same time. But for me, it was like, yep, I'm diving right in. If I were to give an elevator pitch of what the difference is between video game and the board game, is multiplayer. That's pretty much it. So obviously in the video game, you're going up a spire, it's a roguelike, it's a deck builder, you're building your deck, you're choosing a character, you're making these synergies that work really well and comboing all these enemies.
if you haven't tried the video game, give it a go. Like, get on Steam or iOS or Android. Like, it's amazing. I've completed everything in it, but yeah.
Yeah, and you would still have another run. Yeah, that's solid for like a $20 game as well. Like, that's very good value. The great thing about it is that they've really adapted it so well for a board game. It just makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like It feels effortless in the thought that they made from transitioning it to the board game. But I know there was a lot of effort put into it. But the fact that it feels effortless is a testament to their design philosophy, which is amazing. So I probably wouldn't play it on my own as a solo game. I'll just play the video game if I needed that. But with one of friends, if I owned it, I would be bringing it up and saying, let's play this. We're going to have a blast.
Hefty price tag, though.
Oh, yeah. That's also what's holding me back is
Yeah.
it's not cheap.
There's a reason Deek did not buy this at Playcon.
It's about 10% of the video game price. No, sorry. The video game is about 10% of the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, still good. Still very, very fun game. Better with more people.
Then we played Lost Cities Roll 'em Right. So this is similar to Lost Cities in the sense that you're going to making expeditions, trying to go up on tracks. But if you start one track, you're going to get negative points until you get to a certain point. Had some interesting things for a Roll 'em Right. One is you can pass whenever you want. You're like, I'm not taking any turn. And then you're going up on the not taking any turn track, which is great, except at the start of that track, you get negative points. Halfway through, you start getting some points. Right near the end, you get tons of points. But if you go past that, you get 0 points.
Yeah.
So it's interesting of you kind of want to stop it at the right point.
Like the ice climber in Price is Right. Did you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
If you get too high, you're going to fall off. But
Yeah.
you want to go right in that middle area.
Yeah. Look, this was pretty solid. I think if I had 2 people, I would straight away play Lost Cities over this. And there's other Roll 'em Rights that I liked more than this particular one. But it did have some cool interactions and I found it quite pleasant.
I played Arkham Horror, the living card game, which is a game I've been investing into for the past few years. It's a lifestyle game at this point. If you haven't played it, it is a living card game in the sense that you construct a deck around 30-odd cards and you go through these Lovecraftian kind of themed levels and scenarios. Long story short, David and I played a scenario called Machinations Through Space and Time, which is an epic multiplayer version. So usually a standard one would be between 1 to 4 players. An epic multiplayer version can go up to 12 players. So how this worked was David and I played in the present, the team to our right played in the past, and the team to our left played in the future. So whatever we did in our game affected the future, and what people did in the past affected the present and things like that. So that kind of camaraderie of coming over and someone saying, hey, I've just planted the seed. And we go, oh, yes, they planted the seed. That means we can actually construct this now. And then people in the future going, oh, you've constructed that? Great, we can do this. But obviously the whole living card game thing is that monsters are attacking you. Lovecraftian creatures are jumping out of portals and nethers and it's just terrifying you. And you are these weak investigators with like pea shooters and things like that. So you're not equipped to fight them. You just have to get through it by solving mysteries, just investigating areas, and if you are strong enough, killing the monsters and moving on. And that's kind of the gist of Arkham Horror, the living card game. I love the game, but I wouldn't say this was my favorite experience, not because of the game, just because it was such a long time. It was 5 hours of our time, and we kind of had someone who wasn't really familiar with her character. Kind of dragged the fun down a little bit when we were just taking a long time to get through, when like the past and the present, our past and the future teams were saying, have you done this yet? And we're like, oh, we're nowhere near that. And then they had to wait, and there was a bit of pressure for us to hurry up. So not my favorite experience. One of my favorite games ever, though.
Very complex scenario, melted my brain, but very cool. The whole thing about the past influencing the future and the future influencing the past, very, very conceptually cool.
It was very difficult, but that's Arkham Horror. You're not meant to always win them. You fail forward. Arkham Horror, the card game, Machinations Through Space and Time.
We also all played Mlem, Space Agency.
Mlem. You got to say like that. Mlem.
Yeah, which we had to look up of why it was called Mlem.
Mlem.
Yeah, this is a push your luck game where you have cats in a spaceship and then try and get out before the spaceship explodes or crashes. And all your different castronaut have different abilities which can either help or screw with the spaceship. Roll some dice, decide whether you're going to jump in or jump out. Yeah, I found it quite good. Really reminds me of Cloud9 or Celestia. Very similar to those ones. If I didn't already own Celestia, I'd probably get Mlem.
Okay. I really enjoyed it. Mlem, I kind of went home and looked it up straight away. And I was like, this is a fun game. I would buy this to play like a group of friends that aren't really gamers, because it's, like I said, it's a push your luck game. Do you want to keep going higher and higher and get the points at the very top, or do you want to play it safe and jump off at this planet and earn yourself some points at the end of the game? You can sabotage each other. I love the fact that I was leading the rocket and I got halfway and I was like, I'm out, see you guys. And I jumped out and then David's like, well, I don't want to be the controller. So, not too bad. You've got no leader now. So David's now the controller. And he's like, all right, well, I'll roll. And then he's crashed and, shouldn't have rolled that roll or shouldn't have kept going. Should have jumped out when I did. So a lot of fun, press your luck elements there and just really enjoyed it.
There's quite a bit of nuance to when you get off. You don't always have to go all the way to the end. Sometimes you can score better by jumping off early. Like you'll gamble on jumping off on a planet, so you score on a planet. So, of course, you'll end up jumping off on a moon instead.
And it's on BGA, so easy fun there.
Radlands, a game that Daniel and I played. Great little sort of combat-focused card game for 2 players. Mad Max theme. Not really Mad Max, but has that kind of vibe. You know, guys fighting out in a post-apocalyptic desert. Really cool stylistic art, lots of purple. I also love the cards, plastic cards, great for shuffling. Anyway, the game is a combat-focused card game for 2 players. You have a set of bases. Your goal is you want to keep your bases alive. You want to blow up the other person's bases. You put out little guys in front of your bases to protect them. They're essentially soldiers. They do various things. But because you can't damage an opponent's base normally when you have a guy in front of it, the idea is you want to blow up the opponent's guys so that it exposes their base for damage. Pretty simple. I found the game very straightforward. It works pretty well for what it is.
Yeah, I like that we both have different strategies of how to defeat each other. Like I was just playing guys out for cannon fodder, basically, and I would secretly put a cart with a bomb closer to you. So I was like, in 3 turns, this is going to blow up one of your bombs, and that kind of put the pressure on you to say, okay, well, I need to somehow figure that out. And while you were figuring that out, I was like, well, I'm going to have a backup plan for that as well. And that was all fun. I love the neon psychopunk look about it. The aesthetic was really nice. Like you said, the quality of it was good, but not really a 2-player game that I would own. I mean, I kind of got the gist of it after 1 play, and I'm like, no, I don't really need to play again.
Played Castle Combo, I think, with David.
That's right.
Basically, you're going to be building a 3x3 little grid of castle people. Some of them come from the castle and others are peasants that live outside the castle. They're grimy little peasants. So you're either putting the nobles or the peasants in your spot, and basically they all have symbols or scoring, like this one might score for every noble in that row or column, or maybe they're different symbols, so it could be like all the fighting guys need to be in this column, or you get points if you have no blacksmith. So it's pretty simple. It works quite well. It's a nice little game that probably takes less than half an hour.
I like the comboing aspect of the game. If you're smart with your card choices, you can build up little combos which can give you not only good scoring, but also build up your engine. I know Ben had this great thing going on where he not only was able to make cards cheaper to purchase, but he also scored points for putting those cards into play. Great combo. And yeah, cool little concept.
And got to make it so Monica had a more expensive choice every time, which is perfect.
And the fact that you have to choose 9 cards, I assume you'd have to put a lot of thought into which ones make the cut.
Oh,
yeah, you only get a choice of 6 cards. Well, actually 3 cards, but then you can pay to buy one of the other 3 cards. So it's actually fairly quick for your turns. I just need someone that's going to combo with this row, or, well, I'm going to have to take one of these, but I'm definitely not putting it in that row or column because that will screw up that scoring. So you're never going to get your perfect 9 cards.
It's about finding a score in the compromise. Cube was a game that Ben and I played. Really clever concept. The idea is you have a grid of tiles. You're playing at the bottom of the ocean. You've got seashells, you've got hidden diamonds and various other things you want to find. The clever thing about the game is the way picking up tiles works. So you have a cube, actual physical cube.
Fairly big cube too.
Yeah, that's right. It's quite large. And it's got magnets in it. You can't see the magnets, but it's got magnets in it. And I guess there's little bits of metal in the tiles. When you have a turn, you put your cube in the grid. You can swivel it around. You can take tiles off the cube, or you can move the cube. So when you move the cube, you tilt it over. Think a cube that's tumbling over itself. So you move it over, you turn it over, and it goes on top of a tile. The magnet in the cube picks up the tile. And then on your next turn, you can turn it over and pick up another tile. Really clever. I've never come across anything like it before. It really pushed my grey matter. I've never been made to think in quite that way. It had the tactics of a board game, but it made me think in 3 dimensions. Really clever combination of tactical thinking, and I like just how it exercised a part of my brain that probably doesn't get used that much. So I thought it was a really clever concept.
Yeah, the fact that the cubes can only hold one tile on each side, they just won't magnetize. So if you roll over on a side that you've already got something on, then it's just not going to pick it up, which is the rule as well. So that works really well. Yeah, it's a good mix of those. I'm really bad at that kind of spatial puzzle, so I didn't enjoy it as much, but I can see why a lot of people would love this one.
Did it feel gimmicky, the cube, or was that sort of integral to the game? Like,
It's integral.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What I meant
like
to say,
it-
would it be fun without it?
I don't think it would
No.
work without it.
It wouldn't work.
Trying to explain how you could pick up tiles in that pattern without the cubes would not work. So it needs the gimmick.
The way your tile moves affects your strategy. So you've got to think multiple turns ahead. Okay, I'm going to have to swivel my cube. Oh, no, wait. That means that Ben can get there first. He's going to block me. What can I do instead? So
Let's be frank, it's going to be Monica that blocks you and gets straight in your way. But yeah, solid one. Looks pretty. I think families will love it.
Octocube.
Dave and I played Train Stop, and this was a prototype which was basically designed on Sydney transport system. And it's a trick taker. Each card represents a type of transport in Sydney. So it might be the metro, the light rail, could be ferries. You're playing these, and whoever plays the highest in that suit, even if it wasn't the suit that was led, you have to follow if you can. But if you play off suit, then you'll win in that suit as well. So there'll be multiple winners of each trick, potentially. They get to move that level of transport that many spaces. It's the sum of all the other cards. So if I play like the 8 of orange, Dave plays the 2 of orange, and John plays the -4 of orange, then I will get 2 - 4 + 8. 6. Why am I doing hard math for myself?
Got a calculator.
And then I'll get to move 6 spaces with the orange train. And you're going through stops, picking up passengers and dropping them off at other stations. And you get points for however many people you can drop off at various stations. It's that tricky thing of trying to work out, well, can I get off suited? So that way you play trains, but then I'll play ferries. And sure, you'll win the train one, but my ferry is definitely going to move as far as I'd like. So
I loved that aspect of the game. That was awesome.
Yeah, and the fact that there's a ton of minus cards in all the different ones. So I'm like, well, you're playing trains, fine. I'm just going to put minuses on it, and you'll hardly move anywhere and possibly not even get your passenger to the destination, which will leave it like just outside the next station. And then I'm going to play trains next round and then drop him off and get the point for it. Yay! Because it's only the person that drops off the passengers. I've got to admit, when I started playing it for the first couple of turns, I was like, this is a stupid random trick taker that has no control, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm going to have to politely tell this developer that it was fine. But actually, then it kind of clicked. And I'm like, I get what we're doing now. I get why I need to play these cards and when I want to play various things. I know when I want to lead, when I want to follow, when I want to try and get short-suited stuff. So I found it a really interesting thing. It did have like an end game goal scoring thing, but that was a little bit less interesting. But, I think he's working on some rules for that.
I had a similar experience. At first, I didn't really get it, but by the second round, I began to realize, oh, wait, my trains are being stolen. They're being taken onto the green track. I need to keep them on the orange track. And at that point, I was doing some intense math in my head, working out what numbers were likely to come up, and they were feeling quite tactical. And like Ben said, I loved how you can be out of the lead suit and play a different suit. And even though you may not win the trick in the lead suit, you can actually win in another suit. Really clever mechanic. I love how you can use that to your advantage, pull off some cunning maneuvers, stealing trains off other tracks, getting scores.
Solid. That was Train Stop.
I played Android Netrunner, which is actually a game I've wanted to play for years, just never had a chance, and I finally got a chance at Playcon, and I loved it. I've always heard it was an amazing card game. My goodness, is the game dripping with theme. I reckon it's one of the most thematic games I've ever played. And it's a theme I really like. It's like a cyberpunk future setting. One person plays an evil mega corporation. The other person plays a runner, which is like a cyberpunk style hacker trying to get into what the corp is doing and expose their evil deeds. I played as a megacorp and had a blast. Essentially, the heart of it is the megacorp plays agendas. These are their goals as a corporation. And of course, as you would expect with a megacorp, secret. They're not going to let anyone know what they're up to. They're also protecting their agendas with secret ice, which are their defensive measures. Different kinds of defenses they can put to keep the runners out. The runner doesn't know what cards they're playing. The megacorp wants to spend money each turn to advance these agendas. They advance them enough, they score. Meanwhile, what the runner is doing is they're playing their cards to try and hack into the agendas. They're trying to get past the defenses, and goodness knows what's going to happen. They could experience damage, they could lose cards, all kinds of bad things could happen. If they get into the agenda, then if they have the right cards, they can potentially steal that agenda. And whereas the corporation would have won the points had they advanced it, the runner instead makes the points for stealing the agenda, which is really cool. It's full of brilliant ideas. The runner's cards in their hand are actually their hit points. So they have as many hit points as they have cards in their hand. If the megacorp attacks the runner with their defensive ice, they can potentially drain the runner of all of their cards, or if the runner is a bit risky and doesn't keep enough cards in their hand, they can run out of cards. That can kill the runner, and the megacorp can win. It's a deck construction game like Arkham Horror. We didn't do that. The deck was constructed for us. It was a beginner deck. Great mechanics, felt really tense. When the runner was hacking into my agendas, I felt really quite a bit of tension. I didn't know if he was going to be able to hack into them. Yeah. It was quite tense. It really captured a feeling I was on the edge of my seat, and I'm sure the runner was as well, because he didn't know what ice I had defending my agendas. Brilliant game. Absolutely loved it.
Your favourite of the Playcon?
Yeah, it was. It was the game I enjoyed the most. We didn't even finish. Didn't have the time to finish the game. But despite the fact that we didn't actually get time to actually play all the way to the end, I had an absolute blast. Really enjoyed the game.
Played QE with David, and Deek went home to sleep.
Had to catch the multiple buses from train stop.
Yeah. QE is basically an auction game where you can auction whatever you want. So I could say, I'm going to pay $5, and then David could be like, I'm going to pay $5 million. And then Monica could be like, well, I'm paying $1 billion.
It's regular auctions in Sydney, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's the joy of this game. You can bid any amount that you would like. You don't see what other people have bid unless you're the auctioneer. And the twist at the end is whoever has spent the most money over the entire game loses instantly. And then whoever has the most points wins.
So your bids are public? Or they're private?
No, they're private.
Right,
so
right.
If I'm the auctioneer, you might say I'm bidding 1,000, and Dave could say I'm bidding 210,000, right? And I will just take those two bids. I'll look at them and I'll be like, Dave is the winner, and then pass it back to Dave. Dave knows that he spent the 210,000, but Deek at that point is going, did he bid double me? Did he bid 10 times me? Did he just to the order of magnitude of 10? Yeah. So it's really interesting. You're kind of always sort of going, how much more did they just beat me by? Like, do I just need to go up a little bit, or do I need to jump up to the next insane level? It's just like a set collection thing. You want to collect certain tiles. You're playing in Europe or the United States or China or Japan or whatever. So each tile has a different worth for different people, but everyone will want to bid on all of the tiles. So it's quite fun. At the end, you're never quite sure who's bid the most money and is going to be instantly out.
The infinite bidding potential is crazy in a good way. It's just completely insane. I remember, I think you led with a bid of like $12, and I bid a similarly low number. I didn't want to screw myself with a really high bid. So I was next. I bid, I don't remember, some similarly low number, and I got a couple of other fairly low bids. But one of the players bid $100,000, and I was, I see where this is going. And from that point, the numbers just skyrocketed to the millions. I think we were up to, 20 million by the end of the game. From $12 to 20 million. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a big jump. Yeah. What's QE stand for?
Quantitative easing. So it's basically government's ability to print money.
Yeah.
Because your government can just print more money to like make you be able to buy the stuff. You're
And
like,
now your money is worthless.
yeah, that's it.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, great fun. Also played Hellmouth. This is a prototype by Martin Wallace, designer of the #1 game on Board Game Geek. This was a Buffy the Vampire inspired game.
Oh,
So
yes.
not Buffy the Vampire theme. 4 players, asymmetric. One person was playing the heroes. There was like all the people going killing all the big bad. One was playing the big bad, the Lords of Hell, who'd come through this demonic portal. There was also one person playing like the working class demons who were just like, they'd come through the portal. They used to live under the Hell Lords. Now they just want to get a job and settle down. They're going to be working the bars, and they're like your low-level demons.
The
and
backbone of the hell.
Yeah, they're not evil. They're not particularly good. They just want to get by.
Just want to get by.
Yeah.
Get their steak and go to dinner.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yep. And another person played the government, who just really hate the working class demons. They're like, get out of our land, get lost.
This is not
We
subtle,
hate
is
you.
it? There's no classism here or anything.
And the interesting thing about this game is always 2 people will win, but it's not fixed which 2 people will win. So the working class demons always hate the government, and the government always hates the working class demons. So the government wins if the working class demons lose. Essentially, that's all they care about. If the working class demons lose, then the government wins. The working class demons win if either they have the most points at the end of the game, because then obviously life's amazing for them, or if they're not last and the Lords of Hell win, because then they're like, well, we already work for the Lords of Hell and now they're running the show, so it's c'est la vie. It's just the same as when we're in hell. This is fine. So they win that way. The Lords of Hell only win if they've got the most points. And then the heroes only win if the Lords of Hell don't win. So, yeah.
I'm wondering where he got this inspiration from. I wonder if he's seen like a House of Parliament, like try and pass a bill, or just been in a pub on a Monday afternoon and seeing how people talk about the government. That's interesting. Yeah, it sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, I played the working class demons. It was pretty solid. I was one of the players that won, and I was playing with Sonia, and she was playing the Lords of Hell, so I was faithfully serving her lots of ways. We were playing with Tina from the whole game. She was playing the heroes, and Martin himself was playing the government. Yeah, it was quite interesting. At one point in the game, Tina and I were like, hey, the working class demons could team up with the heroes here and we could save the world and make everything pretty again. And we were almost going to do that. And then the Lords of Hell played a really big move. And I was like, screw the heroes. I'm putting my lot in with the Lords of Hell, and coasted on their tails to victory. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I look forward to seeing what Martin does with this. I imagine he'll be bringing a more polished version to CanCon. So
I would love to play that.
there's always one person at the table you cannot win with, but the other 2, it's like, yeah, maybe you and I, let's go. Actually, you know what? I'm changing to the other person.
See where this thing goes.
Yeah. So that was Hellmouth. I played Macro Micro Kids Edition. I think I played this with David.
Yeah, that's right.
Had a quick go at it. It's Macro Micro, but with a smaller map, which is slightly easier for kids. And instead of cards, you got a big book that you flip through. And all of the cases are kids friendly. Macro Micro already works well for young kids, but this is tailor-made for young kids. So the kind of cases are much more whimsical and silly. Even though there's lots of whimsical, silly cases in Macro Micro, sometimes, Daddy, what's happening over there? You're like, let's ignore that and keep looking for the ice cream. Or something. Whereas this looks a bit more like a Richard Scarry book. There's no like guy murdering someone for sleeping with his wife or something. So yeah, I think if you're wanting to play with younger kids.
I like the fun, kid-oriented theme. The characters are sort of a bit fun and appeal to kids more. I like the little book. It had appeal for me. I've been wanting to get a macro game for my nephews, so I picked up Crime City while I was there.
So that was the Board Crew's experience of Playcon.
Whew, pat ourselves on the back, guys. We've got through 27 games. Yeah,
Go us.
What a weekend.
Yeah.
How do they do it? Gee, we take one for the team, don't we? We had to leave our families and go play board games for 3 days.
Yeah, it's a tough life.
Oh,
Tough
someone's
life.
going to do it.
So, yeah, and shout out to the Board Game BBQ crew. You did almost as good a job as CanCon.
CanCon, baby! Yeah, so a lot of fun. It was my first long convention. I've only ever been to Playcon once last year, and that was for 1 day. For 3 days, it was an absolute blast. I kept getting angry that I was at a game for too long, and I was like, there's so many games I'm missing out on. I want to go play Hot Streak again or something like that. But yeah, still had a blast. Met a lot of cool people. Yeah, just a lot of fun.
I loved meeting the people, some awesome friendly designers there showing off their games. They were great. Awesome weekend.
Well, thanks for getting bored with us, and we look forward to getting bored with you next time.
See you later. And thank you, David, for guest appearing.
It was great to appear.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
This has been The Board Crew. Thanks for listening. Join the conversation by rolling over to our socials and just search The Board Crew on Facebook.
I played Raff?
Right?
Raff? Is it Raff or Roth?
How do you
Roth
spell
in
it?
Australia, Wrath in the US.
Right, yeah.
Oh, so it's
I
Roth
remember-
there. There you
I
go.
remember that old Hero Quest ad where he's like, Fire of Roth! Like,
Roth.